When I was a kid, I hid my heart under the bed because my mother said if you're not careful, someday someone's gonna break it. Take it from me, under the bed is not a good hiding spot. I know because I've been shot down so many times I get altitude sickness just from standing up for myself. When I was a kid, I could fill a bookshelf with every different way they would tell me how not to play. They'd say it's time to start putting childish things away. But more and more they made me believe that our hearts are like door knocks, and that's where we get the sound of the beat. And I'll never get to meet the man inside me if I can't stand still long enough to be there. I'll never make it anywhere if I keep running away. I'll never know myself if all I ever do is play Nicky Nicky 9 Doors. They ask, don't you want to be a man? I'm not saying I don't have opinions, just that others were less likely to argue if they were as tired as I was. Fatigue does to men what a goodnight kiss does to kids. It puts weights on our eyelids and returns us to a place where reason and imagination lace together shoes whose tongues stick out at stillness and beckon us to move forward. As a kid, I was always drawn toward moonlight, despite an armada of adults who insisted I must set my days according to sunlight. I would lay in bed and fight sleep, believing if I shut my eyes even for an instant, I would miss out on something amazing. Turns out I was right. I have seen stars stamped into the night like cookie-cutter designs, drew lines in between each one, inventing new constellations so that when somebody asked me, "What's your sign?" I could point to mine. When I was a kid, I trusted myself enough to know that one day I'd be a man. One day I'd have a childhood for a past and a future for a backup plan. That every gauntlet I ever ran was a potato sack race in which time would chase me further toward an ending. I am bending myself back to the beginning, reminding myself there's no winning any race against yourself. Slow down. And when the kid in you falls, turn around. Pick them up, dust them off, then continue. Trust me, you are gonna need that kid. You are gonna need someone to remind you that every weed is a flower, just trying to make shit work. That every jerk you ever encounter is just another someone who somehow forgot it's okay to need a hug. It's okay to be afraid. I still love the night. I love the fact that if you squint your eyes just right, stars look like porcupines of light, stumbling across the dark, dipping their quills into the night, trying to write apologies for all of the unanswered wishes from the times we once wished upon them. And sometimes I still wish. And most times I wish I didn't have to. I wish I didn't have to wish. So I guess what I'm saying is that I hope I never forget that kid who grew up inside me. He just seemed to laugh a little bit louder, smiled just a little bit longer, loved a whole lot stronger, world's first official awesome monger. I know we never meant to turn our hearts into garbage bins. It was an accident. I know the headlines about us giving up were a misprint and really just bad reporting. I know we've been boarding up all the windows from the outside in. We've been doing it ever since they told us to start letting things go. And I know we got into the habit of throwing everything away. But your heart is a door knock, and every time it beats, it's just that kid's way of asking, can you please come out and play?